This is my iPhone XR. I bought it in 2018, so after 2 years or almost 2 years depending on when you watch this video, let's see how it holds up. I'm Simon from The Unboxing. If you enjoy tech content on YouTube, don't forget to click that subscribe button below to stay updated on more videos. Now, this was the first time for me I spent more than $400 on a new phone. This phone released for $749, so for me that was a pretty big investment at that time. The biggest differences for me compared to the iPhone SE I was using at that time are of course the very big screen on the iPhone XR, the way better camera, and the Face ID unlock compared to the fingerprint sensor on the iPhone SE. Now, to start off with the screen, it has a 6.1-inch liquid LCD Retina HD display, and I read that that screen wasn't going to be as good as the other screens, but for someone who never had a top spec phone before, this has never really been an issue for me. It's bright when you use it outside, for example. It's very sharp and I use it a lot for YouTube videos and I can't really complain in my opinion. Also, in my guess, if you're going for the iPhone XR, you're probably coming from a phone which costs a lot less, so this might be your first big phone, big upgrade, and then you won't really have issues with the specs that are not that good on paper. Now for the camera, I can tell you all the specs and all the numbers, but that's probably not what you really want to hear or see. It's a single camera which takes nice pictures when everything is well lit. When it's a bit darker, it has a bit more issue with taking high quality pictures. There's a portrait mode as well, which works good, but you can clearly see that it's software based. Keep in mind though, for me this is the first phone that has these kind of specs, so it's a step up in every way from my previous iPhone SE. Now, the front-facing camera does a very good job in good lighting conditions. It's great for video calling, for example. No real issues with that one. Also does the portrait mode, so really happy about that one as well. I do really like the XR a lot for videos. It shoots up to 4K and super slow-mo as well in different kinds of frames per second you can choose in your settings. The only thing I notice is that it produces some kind of makeup looking feeling on my face, like I'm blushed on my cheeks, as you can see in this video. So that's a bit weird. While, by the way, I'm not wearing makeup. If you're thinking I'm not wearing makeup, no. Now, after 2 years, how fast is this phone right now? Well, it still runs every app I throw at it. I had some issues with Fortnite, but that's mainly due to the Wi-Fi connection in my room. But overall, for apps, this just works very good. And in my opinion, this will be the case for another 2 years or maybe a year and a half without having any issues with this processor built in. One issue I found though is with the face unlock. When my phone is in my pocket and I take it out when I have a phone call or when I just want to unlock it, it has a lot of issues recognizing my face for some reason. I don't know if it's the $5 screen protector I put on the phone, but it does not always work. Then I have to lock my phone and unlock it again, and then it does work. There's also another issue when I'm calling like this, for example, and I want to turn on my speaker. The screen stays dark, and I press my screen, nothing happens. I have to press my power button. It lights up, and then it goes dark again, and I can't turn on my speaker, and then if you press 2 times you stop the phone call, so that's not what you want, of course. But that's also an issue I noticed with other iPhones, so it's not mainly due to the iPhone XR. In my opinion, I think it's mostly due to the fact that this screen protector is not an official Apple graded screen protector, so that might be the issue why he's doing those weird things. Now the battery, after 2 years, I made a couple of videos on this topic, so I'm not going to talk a lot about this. The battery percentage or the battery life dropped about 11% in the last 2 years. That might sound like a lot, but it's doable. This phone goes for a full day with only charging it once at night, and right now it's 6 p.m. but I've used it a lot and I have 20% battery life left, so this is going to go for the end of the day, I think, so no issues with that. As for now, battery life, but I think, in my opinion, after about another year or half a year, that's going to be small issue in the future, I think. And I don't really like charging my phone during the day, so then I'm maybe going to start looking for a new phone. Now there's one thing I don't really like, the speakers on this phone. If you compare these to a MacBook Pro, these are really trash. Just listen to this, for example. Extras, which I'm going to explain in the video, how you can make a video look like this XR, and I think it's very useful that you have a good iPhone or a good other phone with a good camera. It sounds like it's coming from a can or something. It's really tinny, there's no bass, it's flat, it's sharp, I don't really like it. And if you compare it to some regular MacBook speakers, these are way better, these produce way better sound. But this is something, I have to be honest, that I've only been noticing the last couple of months. So it might be due to the fact that I put everything so loud that my speakers get blown out. That might be the case. But I don't really like these. Of course, you can use earbuds or headphones or something like that, which works as well, of course. However, it's okay to watch YouTube videos, but I have better experiences with other devices, but it's doable, of course. Now, as for build goes, this is of course a phone with a glass back. I dropped it a lot of times already, as you can see over here maybe. Not on purpose, of course, but it's still holding up. It's firm, it fits nice in my hand. It's a bit big for me, but yeah, it's a big screen as well. So I hope I can do another 1 year or 2 years with this phone without breaking it. Right now this is my second screen protector and it's not broken yet, so let's hope my next video won't be I broke my iPhone XR. So after 2 years, what is my final verdict on the iPhone XR? Well, this is not a cheap phone, but it's one of the cheapest flagships out there. Flagship, it's not really a flagship. It's a top tier phone and it's one of the cheapest, still very expensive. It's an awesome phone with a very nice camera, good build, works fast, great battery life as well. So in my honest opinion, I won't be upgrading to another phone unless this one breaks or dies or anything like that. Because for me, there are no phones out right now which can validate me spending $1,000 or $1,500 on a new phone while I have this phone. So besides maybe a big camera upgrade on an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 12, there are no real big differences. Yeah, you have the better screen and all that stuff, but for almost $1,000 extra, I'm not paying that amount of money to have two upgrades that are maybe big but that don't really impact the way I use my phone. So if there comes a time where they have foldable phones that are not $2,000 or $3,000 and that are going mainstream, then I will probably switch to something extraordinary, to something that is really a major upgrade. But for now, this will be my daily driver for the next couple of months, the next year hopefully. If I don't break it, I paid about $800 or something like that for this phone, and that was expensive. I'm still crying myself to sleep at night because I spent that much money on a phone, but it's getting better, so I'm keeping this phone now for the next year. Alright, thank you for watching this review after 2 years on the iPhone XR. Of course, if you have any questions regarding this phone or any other things, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be very, very glad to help you. This was Simon from The Unboxing. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I hope I'll see you in my next video.